Hey everybody, it is your team leader Tommy here, and today we're going to be talking about managing your pipeline of clients for 3, 6, 12 months, even 2 years out. As we get started, your screen should look like this because we're logged into agent.kw.com with our MyKW login, and here we go. So, what you should see on the side of the screen is all of your different apps. And for this one, we're going to choose opportunities. What I'm assuming at this point is that everyone that you've met and had a relationship with, that you've put them in as a contact. So what you're going to see is I'm going to pull up the opportunities page. So this replaces the giant whiteboard or chalkboard with all the lines on it. We now have a digital version of it that we can pull up on our phone or anywhere else that we have internet access. So we see this and it looks kind of confusing, but what we're going to do is go up to the top right and we're going to click create an opportunity. So what I want you to imagine is that our test client we've been using, Tommy Leonard, just called you and said, I just got your email and I think I'm ready. I want to buy a house in 2020, but I'm going to need some help. My credit's not great. I don't have the amount of money saved up that I'd like to have saved. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for in a house. Whatever their problem is, we know that they have interest. We know that there's a sale at the end of that road. So it's our job to get in the driver's seat and stay on that road until that check gets cut with our name on it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to select the opportunity type, the name, we're going to name it, right? So maybe we have Leonard Buyer, and we're going to call it first time. Maybe we're going to call it whatever we want. Maybe we're just going to put it in as a custom tag as a first time home buyer. But we're going to say our estimated close date. If we don't know it, let's put it all the way at the end of 2020, but let's have it in our goals for 2020 because the goal is to help them get into a house in 2020. So we can be a part of their journey instead of only having our job having to do with the beginning of the sale to the end of the sale. Our job as real estate agents goes far beyond the beginning and the end of the transaction. It's everything leading up to and hopefully just about everything afterwards. So we're going to go in, say our time frame is 12 months. Our commission rate on a buyer is probably 2.5. If you don't know what their budget is or they don't, put the average in. But down at the bottom where it says opportunity phase, leave them in cultivate, and opportunity stage, leave them in watch. That's going to be important. So we're going to go ahead and click create opportunity. And what you're going to notice is when you click on that opportunities app again, now we're going to see that my pipeline and my projection has changed over here. So it says potential income, $5,625. That's 2.5% of the price that I put in as their expected budget. And it says probable income, $281. That doesn't mean that you're probably going to get a check for $281. It means that you are $281 in progress-wise to making $5,625. So we need to do $5,000 more of work. And I'm going to show you how that works right now. So you see, I'm going to go down and click on cultivate because that's where it says there's two people. And here's that Leonard Buyer, first-time home buyer with the tag above it that we just created. So I'm going to go ahead and click that to open up the opportunity. We'll see that that's where we were when we were doing our documents. For this, I'm going to go back to the sales pipeline. And when we click cultivate, we're going to see that there's all these little panels that I can move. So here are my definitions. Nurture, watch. You have a pretty good idea that they want to move sometime in the next year. Nurture. They're asking questions. They're responsive when you send information. Oh, thank you so much. That's really going to help, etc., etc. In cultivate, hot, for me, if my computer would load, that is, they are actively seeking you out. They're asking about properties. They're sending you properties. They're asking targeted questions. And it's our job now to get them into a scheduled appointment, right? There's no sense in asking a bunch of questions if we don't know if we're an agency. So this is a perfect time to, if you haven't already delivered your CIS form and your buyer agency agreement, remember, you can put whatever expiration date you want. You can say you have to give me 0 days notice to fire me, but this is our agreement that I'm going to do everything on this sheet that you've agreed to. So I would practice up on your buyer agency forms. I know not everybody does them, but it is a great way to set expectations with your buyer so that later things don't become our fault, even if they're not. So we can see we have a scheduled appointment, we have a kept appointment, and we see it goes from 20% to 30%. So just to show you what that does, when we go back to opportunities, that's going to change that $281 to $1,687. So you can see we're getting closer to earning that big check. We can now see that there's one in appointment and there's that other one that was left in cultivate. So as we go through, we can have little steps like for this one, what went well, what could have done better, did you get a buyer agency agreement signed? So if you're managing a team or you have trouble keeping track and making sure that you did every single thing right, put your steps in there. Once we're actively in agency with a client, we are in the active phase. So we're actively searching for a home. We're actively either showing the listing or showing them homes. We've written a contract and sent it. We are negotiating. That contract has been now accepted, so we are under contract. So if you're having a tough time remembering who you should be calling or what some of your other agents are doing or what's going on with your referrals or what's going on with people who haven't begun the process yet, start using your pipeline or at least some kind of version of it that is active and updated and growing, because how great would it be that every Monday you come in and just click cultivate in your pipeline and you scroll down and see all 20 or 30 or 70 people that are in there, and those are the people who get the most of your attention because those are the people that we have designated as the next to move. I hope this helped. I'll see you next time.